Every once in a while, football gives us a story that feels like it's straight out of a movie. One such story is that of Alexander Isak, a boy born on September 21, 1999, in Solna, Sweden, to Eritrean parents who carried with them stories of resilience, survival, and hope. For young Alexander, football wasn't just a pastime, it was his heartbeat. Even in the freezing winters of Stockholm, he would be outside with a ball at his feet, dribbling through the snow, imagining himself scoring goals in front of thousands. Nobody knew it then, but this skinny kid was about to become one of Europe's deadliest strikers. At just 6 years old, he joined his local club, AEK. And from the very first touch, coaches could see he was different. He wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the strongest, but he had something you couldn't teach: composure, vision, and a killer instinct in front of goal. By 16, he was already rewriting history, becoming the youngest ever goalscorer in AIK's long tradition. The Swedish media exploded with headlines, calling him the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. But Alexander didn't want to live in anyone's shadow. He didn't want to be the next Zlatan. He wanted to be the first Isak. And little did the world know, his journey was just beginning. In 2017, his dreams skyrocketed when Borussia Dortmund came calling. Imagine it, still a teenager, suddenly training with Aubameyang, Marco Reus, and surrounded by the roar of the Yellow Wall. For any young player, it would have been overwhelming. The hype was massive, but reality hit hard. Minutes were rare, pressure was suffocating, and critics whispered, maybe he's not ready. Maybe the hype was too much. For many, this would have been the breaking point. But for Alexander, it was fuel. He knew his story wasn't meant to end in Germany. And so, he took a bold step. In 2019, he moved to Spain, signing for Real Sociedad. And this was where everything changed. In La Liga, he rediscovered his magic. The Spanish game fit him perfectly: technical, fluid, expressive. He scored goals against giants like Real Madrid and Barcelona, dazzling fans with his elegance, speed, and cold-blooded finishing. Suddenly, the boy who had been doubted in Germany was reborn in Spain. His name began echoing across Europe, and scouts from the biggest clubs were watching. Alexander Isak had arrived, and this time, there was no turning back. But the story didn't stop there. In 2022, Newcastle United, a club with new ambition and deep pockets, made a statement: they wanted Isak. They broke their transfer record, splashing £63 million for the Swedish forward. And from the moment he stepped onto the pitch at St. James's Park, he lit up the Premier League. Goals, flair, confidence, he wasn't just scoring, he was entertaining. The Magpies had found their star. Fans sang his name, defenders dreaded facing him, and Newcastle suddenly looked ready to fight with the elite. But as we know in football, when you shine too brightly, the biggest sharks start circling. Fast forward to 2025, and the transfer storm is here. Liverpool, yes, Liverpool, are knocking. A club built on legends, desperate to find their next great striker, and they see Isak as the man to lead them into a new era. But here's the twist: Newcastle don't want to let him go. Behind the scenes, tension is brewing. Isak is tempted by the chance to wear the red of Anfield, but Newcastle are demanding a fortune. It's a tug of war that could define his career. Will he take the leap, risk it all, and chase glory at Liverpool? Or will he stay loyal to the Magpies and build his own legacy in black and white? From the snowy streets of Solna, to breaking records in Sweden, stumbling in Germany, rising in Spain, shining in the Premier League, and now standing at a crossroads, Alexander Isak's story is one of resilience, talent, and destiny. And as this transfer saga unfolds, one thing is certain: his greatest chapter is still to be written. The question is, will that chapter be written under the lights of Anfield, or at the fortress of St. James's Park? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure: Alexander Isak is a name football will never forget. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe now.